Today, ChillPoint. It's so chill, our Friday stream is going out on Saturday. Just relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are
Coming
we
up,
here? Wait, it's Saturday?
It's Saturday.
yeah. Coming up yesterday,
Yeah.
there was a whole pre-release about turtles, which
It's
I
true.
was like, that's pretty sick. Those
Turtles.
little chocolates with the
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
walnuts
they
and
put them on pizza.
yeah, they're
It's
good.
a,
Yeah.
it's a really interesting dessert pizza.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You remember Pizza Hut dessert pizzas?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Treats of pizza?
The
That's
buffet.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
the pizza buffet. Yeah, the Pizza Hut ones were like apple pie essentially and cherry something. It was disgusting, and I loved the one chance I had at it
Wait.
when I was a child.
Hang on. So, is it just pizza dough that has been like spread with cherry pie filling
And icing.
and ice? Well,
Yeah.
you need
A
icing.
lot of sugar.
You need to sugar it up because the pizza dough itself is just going to be bread.
Yeah,
They didn't sweeten it at all.
it was great.
I know that a lot of like pizza companies, like Little Caesars started making like the crazy bread.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that's just
Oh,
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
we brush this with butter or butter substitute or whatever, and then we like dip it in like shake a bunch of Parmesan cheese on it, and we can charge you like 6 times what it's worth, which is awesome because it tastes amazing. But then at a certain point, I think they were the ones who also started doing like the churro type thing, but it was just like we just took the same bread, but then we just dipped it in like cinnamon and sugar, and we sold that to you as a dessert pizza type situation. I think, and that was like, I just assumed that's what pizza
beautiful.
companies did, is they were just like, what do we have in the back that we can
Oh.
just what ingredients do we already have that we can just mix and match a different way and just make it into a brand new item? It's like it's the Taco
Kind
Bell
of.
theory, right?
Sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
Usually it's usually employees messing
Mm-hmm.
around rather than
Yeah.
other stuff. As somebody who has worked at a pizza place, and at the same time I was working at a local pizza place, my roommate was working at a Pizza Hut,
Yeah.
which means we got a lot of free Pizza Hut pizza, because when you're local, if we have a mistake pizza, they try to sell that off for free. Whereas at Pizza Hut, they don't care, apparently, or we could get away with it or whatever, but we got a lot of free.
By sell it off
pizza.
for free, you mean a customer would come in and be like,
Well,
hey,
not for
we've,
free, but
we've
like-
got this ready. Do you want it for half
Yeah.
price?
They'd sell it for cheaper. But
Pizza Hut was not about that.
also, I will say, being in the kitchen of a Pizza Hut, you feel like you're just walking through a pile of grease. That was not true of where I worked.
wading
but
through
Pizza Hut
this.
was, it felt like it. It was gross.
Nah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to ChillPoint, the show where we talk about pizza and occasionally video games.
PJ ate his pizza before the show,
Yeah.
in case anyone was wondering.
There is pizza in the fridge. I had a slice. It was delicious. Thank you
Also,
very
the
much.
pizza that Graham's face poked out of also got eaten.
I ate that pizza
It's,
too.
I think it's important
Yeah.
to note
To
that
shame me.
we honestly don't try to waste food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for real, Graham and I both ate that pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went in on that too. We bro styled that. We did like, like kind of, yeah.
I've never seen
Nobody
that
did that.
referred to that as before.
We ate that pizza bro style.
So
just bros.
I'm sorry. When two people do what's supposed to be this romantic exchange of like champagne glasses with arms crossed, that's bro style.
No, when it's like, heteroplatonic, when it's that's bro style. Yeah. Yeah. But if there's any sort of like lingering feelings from one side or the other, then it's a little different. It's like
do you-
unrequited.
How do you know?
I know from my end. I know it's heteroplatonic.
But that
I don't know how Graham felt about it.
oh
He also doesn't know how he felt about it either because it didn't happen. We didn't do any of that. I made the whole thing up for this little story.
no. So you're a liar.
I'm a liar.
I see.
Yeah. Speaking of lying,
I felt very bad saying that to Paul's face, seeing as how you and Graham are like best friends. Then he and I went ahead and ate pizza that way. I was like, I feel very bad revealing this to you now. But of course it didn't happen, so it doesn't matter.
Paul doesn't strike me as the jealous type.
yeah, I feel like Graham is allowed to have other relationships with other people.
That's good.
That's not a problem.
That's very healthy.
Good. I'm glad you both have an open friendship.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is ChillPoint.
I can't imagine Paul wanting to do half the things Beach decides to do.
Even the shit I make up.
I know.
Let's talk about this week's episode of ChillPoint
Okay.
that went up on Thursday.
Did it?
Oh
yeah, it did.
It did.
So that was a harrowing day for me.
Once you had finished showing Silksong, Who's Boss.
I was on Talking Sim. I did ChillPoint or Checkpoint, and I did get it up just slightly after 5. In the middle of doing that, James was like, "Oh, we can't do Centerfolk tonight.
Yeah.
Long game's off. Does anyone want a thing?" And the most responsible thing I could do is take on more work when I'm busy. So I agreed to do a stream.
What'd you play?
Corey and I played Absalom.
Oh, nice.
It was fun. Thankfully, Cord could start the stream and set everything up while I finished the other work that I said I would do.
Nice.
Well, speaking of
Friends are great.
games that are played on stream, High Guard.
Oh, I can't see us playing that on stream ever.
Well, we probably won't have a chance.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
So yeah, High Guard. We've talked about that talked about it a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. As well, it's this new sort of team hero shooter, I guess it's called. That
feels like the drama game right now.
Yeah. Just recently came out. It had it had a fairly middling response. People were like, "Oh, yeah, that's pretty good."
Okay.
However, it's the gaming, the player base dropped off precipitously after the first week or so. So yeah, it has not been doing too well, and it seems to have put the nail in its coffin or whatever, because a whole bunch of people have been laid off from the developer.
Yeah, and what I'm curious about is too, because people are calling it Concord 2 and stuff like that, and I'm like, Concord never really came out.
It did. It
but
was out for like a week.
But that's what I mean. It never really I guess, but you're right. Okay, in technical sense, it was out.
Yeah.
People could play it. You're
There were
right.
physical
I
copies.
apologize. How long was High Guard out then for? Because it felt like it was out for at least several
it's
weeks.
still out.
It's still out.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
They haven't canceled anything.
No.
No, it's dropped off in player base so
But-
much people expect it'll close up shop.
It's massively dropped off in player base. A bunch of people have been laid off from the thing. And as we talked about in the story, their website is currently offline. So
Weird.
people are not terribly optimistic about the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still there right now, but yeah, it's not quite like Concord where it just hard cut kind of thing.
I will say that if you, at least on my computer, maybe this says something about my searches, but if I type in High Guard into Google,
Right.
High Guard Concord 2 is one of the Google suggested responses.
Yeah. Which is too bad, right? Because it's like I mean, it had a massive fall off. I'm like, well, it depends. Obviously, I guess it would be like that if it was like, oh, well, the player base dropped off so fast. But I mean, Concord's thing, it sounded like it wasn't like a bunch of people started playing it then stopped playing it. It was more like not enough people started
Yeah,
playing it.
that
it's
one,
really-
not enough people were playing at
Yeah,
all.
and they had to kill it. And I'm like, well, they kind of ride in a parallel, but they're not strictly analogous to each other, right? So anyway,
So one of the pieces of sort of quote unquote drama that has come out of this is it has been revealed, or people have figured out, that the big funder for the developer of High Guard, I forget what the name of the developer is, but anyway, they were sort of they were an independent studio, and they've been saying that they are fully funded, but they haven't said who they were being funded by or how they were being fully funded.
Right.
It has now been revealed that Tencent was at least a very large contributor. Whether they were complete owner or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
But they were at least a very large contributor, which isn't surprising in the sense that Tencent owns everything.
Yeah.
But is also, so then there's this sort of there's this sort of weird conspiracy thing about how it's like, aha, that's why Highguard was in the
Game Awards.
was in the like final place in the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Like it had the real primo positioning in the Game Awards. It's because Tencent is on the advisory board
Right.
for the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So clearly, blah blah blah.
Okay. That's still probably not true.
Yeah. Graham's position being that from what he saw, it was like, look, they're on the board as much as anybody else who advertises during the
So
Game Awards is.
It's like one, yeah.
So
one,
that doesn't-
There's every company is on the Game Award.
Every
Yeah.
especially every major company.
And also, two, Tencent is like Tencent had has a monetary interest in like half the games at the Game Awards anyway.
Yeah.
So the idea that that somehow is like a conspiracy
So
is not that interesting.
But now
Yeah.
other things that I've seen in the comments, and Graham has been like looking this up to figure this out. He's because he wants to mention this, I think, on the
Yeah.
next checkpoint, was that Jeff Keighley did actually say we gave that trailer pride of place at the last one because I wanted to put it in there.
Yeah,
like I
he said,
wanted to
like-
advertise this game.
He said like I played it and I'm so excited about it. So I put it in this spot.
Yeah.
And so what we said in the story, what Graham said in the story, where he was saying it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
Tencent probably gave him a bunch of money to be in the good spot. Apparently, that is not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
That being said, if your independent game isn't, supported by Tencent or some other big company,
Yeah.
maybe Jeff Keighley isn't paying that close attention to it.
Yes.
So, it's maybe more complicated
I
than
don't know.
just
It's-
money, but
It might
It's
also
hard to say.
Yeah, it might also be that Tencent put up some money in some respect, but not strictly to advertise this game, and so there was
And not necessarily to put that game in that slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they determine what goes in what slot. I don't know if I've always heard that it's like, well, if you're doing any advertising in an event, you're probably paying to be at that event.
Yeah.
That's probably true. It sounds pretty true.
I have also heard from random places that being Jeff Keighley's friend is a really good way to, he is not shy about giving preferential treatment to people he likes.
Yeah.
Sure.
On the
But
Game Awards.
We do
That's-
that for friends. I mean,
That's just networking at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But the idea that the Game Awards is some like objective
Oh,
Yeah.
no. The Game Awards has never been
showcase.
objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nothing's truly objective in that way.
no.
And I personally don't care much for Jeff because I've only seen him at the Game Awards. He rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but I think I don't know. I feel bad at the idea that he likes the game and he put it there, and now that's like the reason why that game would be looked down upon.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not necessarily. I don't know. To me, it's like, oh, if I recommended a game because I really liked it, regardless of how I found out about it, regardless of my relationships with people about it, that if a bunch of people suddenly were like, oh, well, we hate the game that you recommended
Yep.
because you recommended it.
I
I
don't
feel bad for the devs at that point.
I don't think it's necessarily
Don't know.
like people are against Highguard because Jeff Keighley recommended it, but it does seem like
People were mad at it being in that spot.
it does seem like it's that high placed position did kind of, it put a target on its back.
Yeah, and that's a weird, because to me, for all they know, they didn't ask for that, and he just maybe put it there.
We don't know. If it had been, it's that thing, right? It's, the having the sort of spotlight can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Like it can be, it gives you the opportunity to really show off. But if, you're not necessarily quite ready for prime time, or if it's like, you wanted to do more of like a soft launch or something,
Yeah.
then it can be not necessarily what you want. So,
Yeah, I think we also maybe need to get over that the last thing in a presentation isn't necessarily going to be a hype thing or a big thing.
It's funny, right?
We've gotten really used to that idea. And I mean, ideally, you do want to add a show with something that everyone is going to love, but I don't know that if you're taking a chance on something, I don't know that you can do we always want that last slot to be the guaranteed success thing?
From a psychological standpoint, like the thing is, I'm sitting here thinking the same thing. Is I'm like, it's the last thing in the show, so so I'm like, why do we always think that that's the case? And then I go back to like when we would run improv and stuff, right? That I'm like, right, the thing is, you start your show with something that gets everybody's attention right away. Very simple, easy. They wrap their heads around it quite good. This is how I'm going to tell you how you structure improv shows. So you start the show with like one word story, something that's very easy for people to understand. It looks like you're doing a magic trick. Like they're just kind of amazed at like how you're going through the whole thing. It's very fun.
Crowd pleaser. Yeah.
Crowd pleaser, right? Then you go. We would do our song. We do a song at the beginning of the thing where we're making up a song as we go. Again, another kind of feels like a magic trick because you're just like, wow, you guys are making this shit rhyme just off the top of your head. That's amazing. Then you go into audience participation, but usually something where the audience has to shut up. So we do like living scenery or moving people, where it's like the audience is like being a part of moving us around or whatever. And then after that, it's structure all your like fatter games, the things that take longer to play through the rest of the show. And then as you start working your way to the end of the show, work in some audience stuff again. So it's like random lines comes out at that point, or 2-line vocab, something that you can take from the audience and work their shit in. But that you have large control over. Do another song at the end, just be like, this is another fun thing for you to do. And then we ended on halftime, because halftime's a quick game, but also it's incredibly high energy. And if you can go out of the show with, I just did a cool thing for you, like I just involved you, we just did a fun, cool thing for you, and then we just did this amazing high energy thing. And the rule was like, when you're done doing halftime, you know, like we should be at a high energy point and we should be like, yeah, thanks everybody, awesome. And then we leave the stage and everyone's cheering for you, right? They leave with that sense of, I just saw this amazing thing. Even if some of the stuff in the middle might have fallen flat, they come out the end of the show being like, oh, I feel jazzed and energized by it.
Yeah, like, and I think that's, I mean, you know, people talk about like, oh, the one more thing and that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs didn't invent the concept of putting a really good thing at the end of the show.
No.
No, it just got memed.
Yeah.
And like at the Game Awards, the game of the year is the last award.
Yes.
Like
it is the Oscars, where it's like best movie, best director, the things at the end.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a fallacy to say that that people are expecting, like that people shouldn't be expecting a really good thing to be the last thing. Maybe this was a misstep in that this was not quite ready to be in that spot.
Yeah.
And like maybe if this game had a chance to kind of build up a little bit more,
Yeah.
it would have been a better rollout. But
I meant it more in the sense of like,
Writ large, we shouldn't
it's not
be...
necessarily going to be a thing for an individual, right? It is meant to be a thing that they're hoping will be excitable for a large amount of people.
yeah.
But when I think about it, you know, taking a chance on where we're gonna show off High Guard. It's funny. It is funny to me because it's like, well, what you want to do is at the end of your show, you want to go out on like a big celebration. You want to go out on something that's really high energy and got everyone super excited. So that's where you want to put like kind of a showstopper. Like, yes, this thing is coming up, but so it's so weird about a show that is basically built around advertising something that doesn't exist yet. Is that all it is you're basically rolling the dice every time on like, all I'm doing is building hype, and which has nothing to do with the stuff we just did and we just celebrated, because you're like, and the last thing of the evening is this, and then you do that. And if that's what you're going to go out on, you're basically saying that everything that just happened leading up to this point, all of it was in service of the last thing that we're showing you. If everything that comes before it is in service of the thing that comes next.
I think the actual Game Award, the Game of the Year, is the last thing.
It is the very last thing.
And
Yeah.
This is the just before.
So the trailer happens, then they do Game of the Year, and then there's credits and everyone applauding, and the camera pulls out. Okay, that's good. I didn't watch the Game Awards. I have no idea.
Well, yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, most of what I remember of the Game Awards is stuff that I wish I couldn't remember of the Game Awards.
I think that one thing I'll say for Jeff, and in some ways I think this is why he actually, you know, that the Game Awards or Summer Game Fest or whatever, why he can be quite a good host for those things, is that he does have that and I don't know anything about his. I don't really know anything about him outside his award ceremony.
Sure, yeah.
Stuff, but he at least in the award ceremony he seems like somebody who does kind of wear their convictions on their sleeve in some ways. Like
All right.
he seemed legitimately excited about High Guard
Yeah.
and excited to show it with people. And I don't think that was fake.
Right.
I think that he was legitimately excited about High Guard. I mean, you know, we talk about Steve Jobs and stuff, and I know people have talked about that like they say, oh, you know, he was such a salesman and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's this other aspect where Steve Jobs actually wasn't that good at selling things that he didn't like.
Yes.
And you can see him there was a couple of events where like I think that there was like the Apple Microsoft collaboration or something that he
Right.
was like, here's the thing, and he was just like not quite putting on the full reality distortion field
Yeah.
excitement. You know, and you can argue about whether he convinced himself of things or he, you know, the
Sure.
way how brain works, but whatever the case. And I feel like Keeley has a little bit of that as well, is that whether or not stuff is sort of true,
Yeah.
he at least it feels genuine that
Yeah.
he's excited about things.
It'd be like if you put me in charge of hosting the Game Awards, you know exactly how I would act the whole time for every award based on who's in the category and who isn't. Like it would be
Yeah.
like you're so predictable. I'd be there doing a good job as a host, but it'd be like, and now it's time for Game of
Yeah.
the Year. And then for shit that I like, I'd be like, oh come on, I hope they win it. And then it's like, oh, and it's this. Congratulations to fucking Elden Ring again, I guess. You know, like I would not be shy about like
I mean,
I'd be faking it as best I
he
could,
doesn't.
but yeah.
I don't think he is the one who typically announces who's winning the awards. They usually
No.
have other
No.
people doing that. He's doing the host role.
Yeah.
And I would never say he's bad at that role. He clearly knows what he's doing. He's very practiced at it.
And he wants to do
He's
it.
a performer. He wants to do it. I just find he rubs me the wrong way.
That's
and
fair.
personally, most people who act that way in a host performance role tend to.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, and as we've talked about before, you know, it's a tough High Guard. In the best case scenario, High Guard had a real steep cliff or steep road to climb. You know,
Yeah.
The hero shooter area is pretty saturated. You know, there's
Yeah.
quite a few games that have a lot of big money behind them that people really that people do really enjoy, and it is a bit of a zero sum game at this point.
Yeah.
You know, you're basically. I mean, sure, there are probably people who aren't playing them right now who maybe you could get into playing it, but a lot of your audience is going to be taking away from people who are playing
How long?
Overwatch or Destiny or Marvel Rivals or you know all these other
Sure.
Yeah.
similar games. So it's like
how long has High Guard been in production?
in production.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming a couple of years.
Like probably a few, right?
Yeah.
Because we always run into that problem of, oh, this is the thing that's hot. They
Right.
start working on it. Several years comes out later. It's not the hot thing anymore. It's possible they thought in the climate that they were working in be fine, because we know Overwatch 2 was always kind of
Yeah.
a bit of a mess
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while. Marvel Rivals wouldn't have probably even been around necessarily.
There's always because there's always the thing like everyone tried to swing at WoW and they couldn't beat World of Warcraft for a very, very, very long time. Like there was nothing really out there that was kind of like doing it where people were like, oh, I really want to get, you know, we want to get into that MMO market.
I mean, WoW swung at EverQuest.
Yeah, and they won. But then a bunch of other games swung at WoW, and it's like you just didn't displace that many people out of WoW. You kind of had to wait for people had to wait for people to fall off of being interested in playing it for whatever reason, due to age or due to life responsibilities or whatever else that kind of like catches them off guard. And so I'm like, yeah, when a new vision for a market emerges, then you have like PUBG and then Fortnite, and it's kind of like, okay, well, PUBG felt like, oh, we're going to fill this space for this battle royale thing that everyone's really excited about, and then Fortnite says we're going to change our game to be the same thing, and then that started eating their lunch, and it's like, oh, you didn't expect that, but it was kind of is the EverQuest, and then WoW kind of succeeding
the two
that.
of them fed off of each other for a while.
Yeah, and so then to have like but then at that point it's like battle royale games, nothing's Fortnite. Like Fortnite still just kind of exists as like the most player base. I don't know if it's the best player base or not. I can't say. Just be like it's the most player base.
Free to sign up. So
yeah, and so I feel like that's with a lot of things like extraction shooters and like all these other kind of things people are trying for. It's like how do we vary the genre that takes a first person shooter aspect, but we turn it into like a different game style and focus on that and really make it a good thing. And obviously people say that the 3v3 objective based team shooter is that market filled? Has the best thing come out for it yet? Was it Overwatch? Or we keep mentioning Marvel Rivals. It's like, actually, is that the best one? Is that the one people are enjoying the most of? And the more games come out in that category, you're like, one of them probably wins the category at some point, right?
And obviously there are all sorts of different, subtle differences between them. But
yeah,
as somebody who is primarily a single player gamer,
yeah,
I always think about that because it's like, for instance, whatever, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom,
yeah,
doesn't have to be so good that it convinces everybody playing Breath of the Wild to stop playing Breath of the Wild and now play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
But that's what all these multiplayer games have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's if you're, the dream is to have your game be the perpetual game, like Fortnite or whatever.
Or Destiny.
Because now you're set and you're made, well, I don't know about Destiny, but now you're set and you're going to make money hand over fist forever or for a very long time.
Yes, absolutely.
But the problem is if breaking into that is so difficult, and even for even as Overwatch fan, even breaking in against yourself is hard.
Yeah,
that dream sounds so counterintuitive to the idea of wanting to make a game for the sake of making a game or doing something fun, or like it really just sounds like a capitalistic dream.
Well, yeah, because ultimately, it depends on the region you're aiming for. This is going to be kind of a weird thing to say, but it's like if what you're aiming for is I want 100 million concurrent players, that's the region I want, as opposed to I want 100,000 people to be able to show up and play this game and have a really great time. I mean, Battlefield exists, right? Like,
sure,
it's like there are games out there where there are graybeards who are deep into playing those games, and you will have a player base that's vanishingly small but are extremely loyal. And so if you're an indie company being like, I want to make a 3v3 whatever, and you find your 100,000 people, you can eke out an existence on that reasonably well, right?
You can, but I feel like you're not going to be able to. Or you're not going to have that as, like, to me that feels like I want to make a 3v3 indie whatever game. Most of the time you still need to get funding for that.
Yeah.
So you're still going to need to get your funding from potentially a publisher or Kickstarter or whatever. You're not big enough to probably gain that kind of following without hitting up a publisher or something like that without a lot of luck.
Yeah.
And if you do, you're going to get told things like, well, it's cute that you want that many people, but we need you to be able to do this. And we need it to be able to be sustainable for a few years.
Because otherwise you're relying upon your game going viral.
This is what you're going at. And I honestly can't picture an indie team wanting to put together a thing like that, because that sounds so much like I'm looking at another product and deciding how I would make it, as opposed to
the people who made Among Us.
Here's a thing I just actually want to make.
Yeah. Like the people like Innersloth made Among Us.
I think that's Innersloth.
And the fact that it's like that went massively viral.
Several years after it was out.
But the idea was we made that game because we thought it'd be fun to make that game. And the virality of it had nothing to do with the motivation to make the game in the first place.
But it's also not akin to something like an MMO where you have to have online servers all the time with people like constantly hitting in rooms, right? It's more multiplayer. You have all your friends joining a room.
You just need as many people as possible to make it fun, though. Like you need to have like the more people, the merrier, essentially. So that I think can make it even rougher.
Because it's werewolf.
Yeah, and
with chores.
Yeah, and I think indies, indie studios are in that mindset of, man, I know I'm not going to have 10 million players on the first day, but if we can develop something that's interesting and that we think is fun and we can put it out and people want to play it, like Peak, right? Like,
oh yeah, friend slop.
Yeah, and it's like, can we do a thing that's just like fun for people
that's their words.
Fun for like just a fun, goofy thing for people to consume. It's like there is that. We're not seeing as many indies, I think, create the 3v3 title, the team shooter title, the kind of thing, because I think they're staring at Overwatch and being like, how do I approach that?
I just don't think they have the power to do that.
Maybe not.
Just the amount of money and
I see a lot of games
behind stuff you need in order to make the marketing work to get that kind of.
I see a lot of games cross my desk because of being on all those game lists for games that I have never heard of in my life, and I see them go by, and I think maybe once or twice I've seen a game go by that 3 weeks later everyone on the internet is playing, and I'm like, if I'd known about that game 3 weeks in advance, I'm like, well, I did, because I actually got served a thing being like, did you want a code for this so you can try playing it? And the next thing you know, there's 10 million people on the internet who are playing that thing, and everyone's freaking the fuck out about it.
Yeah, the factors of what gets picked up sometimes are so rough to tell.
Yeah.
Among Us was out for a couple of years. It got popular because a streamer was playing it. It was locked down. Other people started to know about it.
Sure.
I often hear about it'll be like it'll take like the fourth or fifth time of me hearing a game title that someone's sort of talking about before on several different shows before I'm like, oh, right. I kind of remember hearing about that. That seemed interesting. I should maybe look into that at some point.
Yeah.
And even if I do or not, pretty low.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Please.
To a single player game.
Oh.
Yeah.
This new God of War game
okay.
that
Sons of Sparta
that it got quote unquote shadow dropped. There have been a couple stories recently about what is and isn't shadow dropped. But anyway, the last week there was a big Sony. I don't know if it was actually called State of Play, but it was one of their like.
Yeah, it was in the State of Play. I only know that because I went through an article to see what was in there.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, God of War. I turned on the trailer. I stopped watching after 30 seconds because honestly, I thought it looked boring.
So. I mean, I'm kind of a fan of the God of War games.
Yeah.
And I mean, I am a big fan of Metroidvania games. So I was like, hey, this looks kind of interesting. The story here, of course, is that David Jaffe, who, if you don't know, was the original developer of the original director of the God of War games. He hasn't directed the God, he's not involved in any of the Norse mythology.
Yeah, he did God of War and God of War 2, both for the PS2. That's the last time he worked on God of War, according to his discography, filmography or gameography.
No, I like discography. It's fine.
But anyway, he's also a known sort of rabble rouser in the game industry. Yeah, he's sort of a professional having opinions person.
Sure.
That people will often talk to about, people will contact about different things because he'll probably have an entertaining opinion about it.
Right.
Anyway.
Say entertaining. I mean.
Well, what the internet at large finds entertaining.
Oh, okay. So.
Can you peak your microphone?
Anyway.
I can do that without an opinion.
And because he was associated with the God of War titles, obviously people were asking about this because it is quite a different style.
Yeah.
And again, for me, as somebody who is a fan of the God of War games and also of Metroidvania games, it still looks a little kind of boring to me.
Okay, cool.
To me, if you're taking Kratos sort of back so far that he doesn't have any of the elements that make him Kratos,
right?
It's just some guy.
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so now it's just like a guy running around. It doesn't have any of the, it doesn't seem to have any of the like cool mythological stuff. He doesn't have his cool weapons. He doesn't have any of the sort of things that make it God of War.
Right.
So it's like,
I mean, I hope it's fun.
yeah,
But
and
like, it's just visually the first 30 seconds of it, I was like, well,
it's very brown. Maybe it's
yeah,
just the
it's
first,
it's very brown.
maybe the
and-
first area is just kind of a brownie area. Who
and
knows? Maybe it'll get more like cool and mythological as you play.
Maybe, and I'm worried. And the one thing I worry about with a lot of Metroidvanias of any type is, will I be able to tell the difference between the foreground and the background, and what I can interact with and what I can't interact with? And because I just
Always
kind of
a tough
saw
one.
a pile of brown, I was like, oh, I hope that's not an issue here. Yeah, I hope it's fun for the people who like it. It just didn't look that interesting to me. If it ends up being a lot of fun and I hear a lot of chatter about it later, I don't know, maybe I'd check it out. But it's kind of how I deal with a lot of stuff these days. I don't have time for everything, so I give everything a first look judge. That's kind of rough.
The other aspect, so it's the whole idea is that you play as Kratos and also his brother, or you in his brother Deimos, is also there, and so there's like a co-op gameplay, which is cool.
Yeah, 2-player.
Except apparently not until after the game was released.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Did they say that the actual co-op part isn't unlocked until you beat the game once?
Yeah, not as cool.
Which is
Yeah.
not cool and not, I don't know, for some reason that's like the idea that that's like sort of a retro style thing, which I don't think that's even a retro style
Remember
thing.
that being a huge thing, but
So if
I
you
don't
go
know that
if you
many.
go way back, let's go way back to like the NES and the Super
Sure.
NES, right? That was never a thing,
Okay, that's what I thought.
right? But then if you go back, but not way back, if you go back to like, I'm gonna say like PS3 era type stuff, right? That kind of thing. We're gonna go back to 2000s, I think, on this. There was this idea of, oh, what if we can gate and lock a few things about the game behind being able to complete it the first time, and start opening that up? Because I think there was that idea of like, oh, that gives you a reason to really want to, like, it gives you a motivation to be like, I'll play the game, I'll get really good at the game, and now I can open up alternate means of playing the game. The locking of co-op is a thing I have never heard of before in my life. It has probably happened. I've just never heard of it.
Yeah.
The only game that I remember back in the day, Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
Secret of Mana is a you probably know it's a super cool real time
Action RPG, yeah.
action RPG for the Super Nintendo. And as somebody who didn't have a Super Nintendo and so played it over at friends' houses, I knew very well that there isn't like you can play it with 2 players,
Yes.
but you can't play with the second player until you find the second player in the game.
Yes.
Which is about like
Yeah.
half an hour or an hour
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to beat the game entirely though.
Yeah. Fun thing about Secret of Mana is, if you're not aware of this, either is that there's 3 characters running around on screen that you have control over, but 2 of them are basically they're running around hitting things, but you can set their aggression level essentially.
Okay.
And when you play, the player 1 always plays as the main character, and player 2 has their choice of playing either as the girl or as the sprite. You have your choice of which one that you want to play. So that I played a lot of Secret of Mana in 2-player mode with my girlfriend back in the day. And it was a very fun experience to be able to be like, I'm running around doing this and hitting these things and doing whatever. But yeah, it is, you have to wait until
Okay.
you get to that point to be able to play as other characters.
2-player mode though is a challenge mode as opposed to the game again. That's a very different thing.
That is a different thing.
That is a different thing. And so that makes me hope that they didn't advertise it as being a 2-player co-op game.
Yeah, because if it was the same campaign again, I know like there's like new game pluses and people enjoy those things. There's very rarely a game I play a new game plus on. It's I don't think I would want to play a game and then be like, okay, cool. Now that I've played the game and I know everything about it, I want to do 2-player,
Yeah.
and potentially with a person who doesn't know anything, and therefore I'm
That's just the worst.
really
Yeah.
annoying as a person who's going to tell them everything they have to do now.
Yeah.
And I didn't need them in the first place because I played through it already is not appealing. But if it's a challenge mode, I'm like, I can kind of get that, but that's then kind of a thing where you have, I don't know, when I want to play a 2-player game with somebody else, it's usually like, oh, this game's out. There's 2-player in it. We should play that.
And it kind of feels like that's how you'd want to start a game like that too. Like we started the River City Girls game trial on Switch separately. You and I did.
Yeah.
And played the shit out of it, but we also played it a little bit together and had a good time doing it.
That game lets you go back and forth between 2-player and 1-player.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And then when I think it was over Christmas, we brought River City Girls 2. You got that for me for Christmas the previous year. I never even cracked it until this year. And then we played it together, and I was like, I don't want to pick this game up and play any more of it unless the two of us are playing it together. I like it when you and I have a 2-player co-op game that we can play together.
Yeah, we
Like-
don't get that many of them.
No, and so this was one where we were both like, oh, we like being able to play this game together with each other. And doing it from the beginning is kind of fun because then it sets I don't know if it set the tone for the game, but it sets it kind of in my mind, it makes it gel as a certain type of game then.
Yeah.
And I like that feeling of this is the kind of game that I'm enjoying. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you don't want to, it would be like, it's like, if you're watching like a TV show with someone, you don't want to just like start watching episodes by yourself.
Oh yeah, and it'd be a pain in the ass if like we sat down if Heather finished Hades 2 and came in and be like, "Hey, did you know?" And she sat down, started, and be like, "I've unlocked co-op mode, and now we can play, and you get to play as Zagreus or whatever the hell." I'm like, "Okay, let's try it." And I'm dog shit at trying to make this work because Zagreus hasn't been upgraded or whatever. But she's like, she's playing as Mel and like flying through things. And I'm like, I don't have the firm. I don't know how to fight I'm dead. I just died to this whatever because I don't know how Hecate's whole thing works. And then it's like, oh, it's just like this. I'm like, oh god, yeah, this isn't fun at all.
Yeah.
That being said, co-op Hades 2 would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty baller.
Man, if they had any co-op Hades game, I think Beej and I would be set for a little while. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to something depressing.
Yay.
AI is taking all of our hard drives and RAM.
Yes.
No,
And we also assume probably our GPUs, but that's not what the story's about.
No.
No.
my brain auto completed that sentence to AI is taking all of our girlfriends,
Mm.
and
No, they're...
it was
AI is our
funny.
girlfriends.
Yeah, it's making lots of those for us. Don't worry about that.
I don't want an AI girlfriend. They're creepy.
And I did want to emphasize this, which Western Digital and Seagate apparently their entire 2026 production run of hard drives is spoken for.
Yeah.
And it is worthwhile to point out that at the moment, because of consolidations and buying in the industry and so forth, at the moment, there are literally 3 hard drive manufacturers in the world.
Yes.
Western Digital, Seagate, and Toshiba.
Yep.
Those are literally the only 3 people in the entire... There are lots of other brands of hard drives.
Yes.
All of those brands use one of those 3 manufacturers.
Yeah, they're rebrands
Right.
of those things.
Western Digital is about 45. Seagate is about 40. Toshiba is about 15%. At the moment,
Yeah.
At the moment, Toshiba is the only one who hasn't said they've sold their entire inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's only 15% of the market.
And I don't really know how
So,
to
yeah.
feel about Toshiba drives either because I've never run them. Like I have
Never.
my NAS at home is full of Hitachi HGST drives, which is now owned by, but I bought it's owned by Western Digital, and Hitachi drives were they're kind of like the gold standard for 4 terabytes when Backblaze was like having a lot of 4 terabytes. It's like, these things never die. So I'm like, I'm buying those all the time. So I have no idea what Toshiba's like. I've never had to see any of that.
I don't see them as often as Seagate or Western Digital. I mean, the only part of the story that I didn't mind too much was the idea that the PlayStation 6 might have to wait a little longer
Yeah.
to come out, because I wouldn't mind if they held off on that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's been there is one of those things where it's not even like there's one story or 2 stories or 3 stories. It's like basically there's like so many stories that have come out in the last couple weeks. Anything to do with like something being delayed. When you delve into the story, 90% of the time it's because of either hard drive or RAM costs skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Any of this stuff. So yeah, we're talking the PS6, the Steam Deck, the Steam Machine, the Xbox Ally X, which is the great. What was great about this story is the story was the price has gone up in Japan only. By the time as it went from writing the story to recording the story the next day, it was Japan and Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so who knows what it's at now?
Sometimes those things filter over a couple of days because those regions are different.
And now my understanding is it's like they've sold their hard drive production capacity. Now, didn't say inventory because, of course, it's not stuff they've made. They basically said, we know that we can create this many hard drives in 2026. That's not inventory because they don't exist. They've sold their production capacity for 2026 and basically earmarked it all towards going to data center projects, which is a terrifying idea because it basically means that if an entire year's worth of production has been already earmarked to go to companies which are saying we're going to be building these things, the only way that gets released, they're going to be making the drives anyway. But the only way that then those drives get released is if the data centers don't get built. If they fail, like if it's like the projects fail and they don't get made at all.
Is a drive for being made for a data center even a drive that somebody else can use?
Well, now that is interesting.
In a lot of cases, no,
because
or they're not. So the menu,
because they're not meant for
24/7.
a person building a computer.
Yeah, enterprise style drives are different than consumer style drives.
Yeah.
Same with RAM.
But it also means that SSD prices have been driven up as well.
Yeah.
And there are some cases in which you want SSDs for AI data centers because you want the faster access. But in other cases, you want larger spinning metal because you want lots of storage.
Mm-hmm. Because this is the thing when you take production time, because what you're actually selling is production time. Yes, they're going to be producing that specific thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, if all those data centers fall through, but those things have been made, that those things can be just sold to regular consumers necessarily. And they probably even wouldn't be. They'd likely do something else with them.
So, go ahead. Sorry, finish. I'm sorry.
There is an aspect where some of that stuff can be reconfigured into a consumer level thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of it can't.
But also because it's production time that you're really selling, now nobody else could make anything in that space, at least at that factory.
Right, yeah.
Because the time has been bought, unless they make more factory?
Can I make some suppositions?
I can't stop you.
Okay. Let's take Western Digital because I know the color coding, for example.
Yeah.
Western Digital makes green drives, blue drives. I think they've made black spinning metal in the past, but let's just go with green, blue, red, purple, and I believe they also make gold now. And your green drives are traditionally, those are your desktop drives. They're like the cheapest desktop drives you can buy. They're generally 5,400 RPM. That's not the slowest drive they make, but it is a slow drive.
Okay.
So you got that. Then you've got your blue drives, which are usually 7,200 RPM, which is just a faster desktop drive, more robust, nicer speeds, that kind of thing to have it as a drive and whatever. Then you have your red drives, which are NAS drives. These have been rated to run for 24/7 for reasonably high throughput, for like lots of reading and writing and stuff like that. They're generally also 7,200. I don't normally see the speeds, but they generally are 7,200, and they tend to be massive. Like if you're getting into like 20 terabyte, 22, 24 terabyte.
Because they're meant for
lots of storage. Purple is an enterprise thing used for surveillance. They're running 24/7 all the time, and they're basically having stuff written to them all the time. Right. So that's what those are for. They're designed to do that kind of stuff. Gold is an enterprise drive that is meant for high-capacity database application, if I remember correctly. So that's, again, a lot of reads and writes of stuff going on there and very high speeds. But that's talking about SATA, because then we can talk about SAS, which is a completely different style of thing. All the interior parts of the drive are the same except for the board, which is now, it is a different interface. It's serial attached SCSI, and also that means that drives will tend to run at a faster speed as well. 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 RPM. Very, very fast drives. So That's a massive amount of different things, which means that the different factories that Western Digital might be making might be saying, well, we make greens and blues here, but we make our reds and purples at a different factory in a different location. I'm not sure, because I don't think it's all one factory that Western Digital uses. I think they probably have several.
It would make sense for them to have more than one.
I would
or
assume so, 'cause
even one location, right?
You don't, yeah. GM doesn't make a minivan, and then the next car on the line is like a Paseo, not a Paseo, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's fucking Impala, whatever. They don't make a minivan, then an Impala. It's like, oh, you make minivans all day, all night in Oshawa. So the way I see it is that if all the production capacity for Western Digital has been bought up, it's either the AI companies have said, or the data center companies or whomever have said, we want everything, we don't care what. We'll take your green drives if that's what you're manufacturing, if you decide you want to do that. Or they're saying, you have production capacity to make drives, and we want nothing but gold drives this year. Then if that's all they make, even if the data center is shut down, they're going to be left with a glut, like they don't get made at all. We're going to be left with a glut of gold drives that would have to come to market, that would have to be sold to somebody. And so I don't know where the market is for that either, because we don't buy golds to go on our
the thing
servers.
I remember, I think Ian found this, but this was also something I'd heard through a podcast, was there was like
Again, suppositions.
a thing, it might have been a hard drive, I can't quite remember, but it had been a thing that had come to, they couldn't sell really anymore because it was meant for something specific. It was being listed on eBay or other places really cheap because of that, because it was kind of useless. And then someone found a way to break it so that people could make a mostly functional PS5 out of it.
Okay. Yeah. There's a
Like
a
not
GPU.
completely.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
but
a GPU of a specific sort that you can buy that can also emulate being a PS5.
but it's not like just a thing you can buy and then just do. It's a thing that you have to know what you're doing in order to do.
Yeah.
And then because that happened, people bought them all up really quickly, or they went up a little bit in price.
Yeah.
As well, because that's what happens with those things.
It's something that I have seen being put forward as more sort of doom and gloom type stuff, is that the kinds like you're saying, the kinds of drives that are being made for AI data centers, and especially the kind of RAM, like you've got all these little RAM socket or RAM chips, but they can be put into all sorts of different configurations.
You can put them on it. You can put a whole bunch of them on a single DIMM that would fit in a desktop PC, like a desktop motherboard. But also, if you add an error checking correction chip to it, all of a sudden that becomes server RAM, and you put that in a server.
And they're different configurations, different sizes, different shapes, different stuff.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the versions that AI wants are not the version, and not the kind of RAM that the vast majority of consumer level computers can use.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if these data centers go belly up, it's not like a bunch of usable RAM is going to glut the market.
We're not going to be able to go picking through the wreckage and be pulling stuff out to put into our computers without desoldering chips and putting them into other things.
The idea in chat of not being able to imagine a production business seeing the AI bubble and committing to making drives without being paid full up front. That's not, they will definitely be paying on credit. That's because they're not going to be, even if they're making those drives for specifically data centers, the people that they're dealing with, whether maybe it's Microsoft or all these other places, are going to be people that have contracts and credit for them to do that with.
Yeah.
And that's what that's going to be more based on.
And in a lot of cases, like these data centers that they're buying up this stuff for a data center that isn't actually going to go online until 2028.
Yeah, and
that's the weird thing.
And it's not like OpenAI, I think, is the one coming calling to say we need a whole bunch of your RAM. No, it's Amazon, it's Oracle, it's Microsoft, it's blue chip tech stocks that have a massive amount of backing and market cap and everything behind them. And if you're a company like Western Digital or Seagate, you're looking at a company like that coming to you and saying, we have a whole bunch of shit we want to buy for the AI thing. And as far as the company's concerned, they're like, yeah, I mean, nobody ever got fired by buying Microsoft or selling to Microsoft, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and sell you all of our production capacity for the year because we want in on the boom because we want to make money too. We just hope that we're not the ones left holding the bag.
But like I worked, and I know it's different,
bleakest.
but I worked for a clothing store, and that clothing store going into receivership and bankruptcy was how I learned that a lot of clothing stores actually pay for their clothes, in a sense, with debt,
Yeah.
and they do not pay back until after they've sold through their stock,
Right.
really. And because we were going through what we were going through with the store that I worked at,
It has this.
we were not allowed to they wouldn't give us our stock unless we paid in advance,
because you were no longer
which meant we
reliable.
didn't get any of our stock till way past when we would have started marking it down, because seasonally clothing has to be,
Come
Right,
pre-season,
yeah.
Because because yeah, you know, that's of course what everyone's talking about is like, you know, nobody cares if
Like
open.
a lot of stuff is built on the idea of we're going to pay you back with a promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody really cares if OpenAI goes belly up.
No.
We're happy for that to happen.
Absolutely.
But it's all part of a network of people owing money and doing money and stuff. So there's you know, it's like, you know, when the Titanic goes down, it has a big it sucks everything else down with it.
Yeah.
you
There's
know.
a big whirlpool that it makes, and all of a sudden, all the other ships that were coming behind it get pulled down into it as well.
We're mostly fine.
Yeah, and it is true that idea of like it's
Anyway.
musical chairs, right? Who's going to be left holding the final IOU at the end? And it probably
mean,
we don't know
we've-
who it's going to be.
We've done work prior to knowing that we'll get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We do a
Like,
lot
on
of things
occasional,
on. We have done things on a handshake that a contract follows a little
and-
bit later.
We've luckily not had issues with that, but
I mean,
it's a thing that happens.
It's also not who you think, so don't start making suppositions there.
I mean, I can say now. I can say, and we've talked about it before. Like, we, you know, way back in the day
Yeah,
when we worked for the Escapist, we went for a very long period of time without them paying us.
yes,
And they didn't pay us because their advertisers didn't pay them.
yeah.
And they had no money. Speaking of which, the Escapist apparently is now even more.
Even more
It's-
defunct.
Worse.
They've been going.
Worse.
They've been.
All
yeah,
right.
They've been going through a whole other thing.
a worse thing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to something more happy. Like I
really wanted to talk about hard drives a lot,
Yoshi,
though.
Yoshi
You don't want to talk
eggs.
about the egg?
Yeah.
Talk about the egg. We'll get into the egg.
Yoshi eggs. Before he wrote this story, Bish posted in the stories channel. I have an idea
Oh, right.
for the this thing about the Yoshi's Hatchimal, but I'm afraid it's going to be too dirty or
Too gross.
Too gross.
too gross, and people won't like it.
Yeah.
And then Graham said, "Well, if you are concerned about it, maybe you shouldn't."
Yeah.
And then you started writing it, and you were like, "Actually, I think it'll be okay."
I think I found the line. And I did. I found a
Yeah.
line.
I wish I'd never shown you that. I mean, you was gonna show up in your feed somewhere anyway. But
Look, you didn't put it in the doc.
no,
he
but
did.
I showed you the video when we were on the couch the
Yeah.
other night.
Yeah, I watched
I
the
was
video. I'm like, oh, that's
what the
interesting.
Heck is this weird thing?
Yeah.
And yeah, so Yoshi, it's like a Yoshi egg that cracks. Now, I was disappointed that it wasn't like, you know, Graham was talking about like the whatever trash bag kids or whatever, you know, those like blind box things.
Yep. Somebody found out it was like trash bag brawl or something like that.
And I was kind of hoping that it would be like you get a Yoshi egg, but you don't know what color the Yoshi is
Yes.
before it
Oh,
cracks
that would have
open.
been better.
But apparently no.
I mean,
they're all
I
just
still
green
kind
Yoshis.
of. Yeah, I mean, I do like the idea that it would have been you might get a different color Yoshi, because like if you're gonna go for the loot boxy style thing,
Yeah.
I do feel weird about, because I know there's like toys you can get that are essentially like bath bombs.
Yeah.
Right, where you like
So
do
at
a
least
thing and it shows up.
at least it's like soap or it's degrading. I don't know if those are bad for the environment now that I think about it, but I know that wrecking this extra packaging that's going to be probably inside a box that
Yeah.
you're going to get as well does
Appar-
seem a little weird.
apparently, some people in the comments were talking about that. Apparently, there is a Hatchimals fan community
Mm-hmm.
that has figured out ways to like
Rebuild the egg.
Rebuild the egg.
Lovely.
Or like replacement egg things.
Alrighty.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's the toy is an animated. I mean animated. It's an interactive toy. It squeaks and wiggles and makes good bibble.
No.
This is an old reference that
no.
nobody will understand who Bibble is.
And I don't want to.
So anyway, it moves around, it shakes a little bit, and it you can speak to it and you can poke it and it'll talk back to you and stuff like that. But it doesn't say anything. It just Yoshi, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And watching the demo video. The demo of it is sped up because the guy showing it live. He's like, this thing's going to hatch faster than normal. But the idea is you're supposed to poke it, and eventually he'll make the first pip, and then he kind of because he's moving around and stuff. But it is just a hard plastic toy that can only just kind of move around enough to kind of do something. And then you peel back the whatevers, and you can take him out and set him down and have him do what you can let him sit in his egg. You can do whatever the kind of stuff. But it's then he's just kind of a noise box for a while.
Yep.
And that kind of seemed like that is the beginning and end of it.
Yeah, I mean, as a toy for kids go, it feels like it's kind of limited, but who am I to tell kids what they're playing?
Very
with?
young kids, do like toys that just make all kinds of noise.
Sure,
exactly.
I've seen some truly horrifying ones for friends that have had young kids in my life, to the point where those are the toys where the batteries mysteriously go missing. That kind of thing. This seems like it might be annoying for a parent after a while, but not to the shrillness of some chicken toys I've seen.
Yeah,
the article I saw about this was move over. Flower from
the talking flower
from Mario Wonder, because that toy is coming out as well. This is the new cute thing, and I'm like, I think the flower's still
I think
better.
I would take the flower over the Yoshi one.
Yeah.
We're also 40, so I mean, there is a different kind of appreciation for what it is and what it can, those kind of toys and gimmicks and whatever. I mean, my mother for Christmas. I love my mother so much, but she got us a Grogu.
Yeah.
That I
did.
think says stuff.
It was so you want an experience. It's basically the Yoshi experience. It was on
while it was wrapped.
And of course Beach didn't know what he was opening, and this thing just started moving while he was opening it.
It's what on earth?
Yeah.
And I open it up. I'm like, here we are. I have Grogu now doing, and where is there's the thing that turns it off forever. So. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I was never the kind of kid who really liked squawky toys.
No,
I liked. I had one of those Fisher Price tape recorders that could play things and stuff like that. And I liked that, but I didn't like things like the Teddy Ruxpin that moved its mouth, which is essentially just a tape recorder.
Yeah.
I didn't like the toys that were really loud and noisy. Those were never my bag. I've seen kids like them, and then the kids are also really loud compared to how I was. But so.
Sorry, speaking of, when we were at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pre-release yesterday, James played the Technodrome card, and immediately, so it was James and Graham and Adam, and immediately Graham was like, "Oh man, I had a friend who had the Technodrome toy."
Jesus.
And James was like, "Hey, I had the Technodrome toy."
Oh wow!
And they were like, "Oh, it was the best toy. Oh man, I love that toy. It was the thing that every kid wanted." Mm-hmm. And Adam just out of nowhere goes, "Yeah, I was all about the talking Teddy Ruxpin."
Love it. Which, to be fair, I thought the talking Teddy Ruxpin thing was super cool. Because his mouth moves while he's speaking.
I saw the
randomly,
commercials for
right?
it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like this. I kind of wanted one, but I kind of wanted some other stuff more, and so I didn't want just that. It's no, I want the GoBot stuff.
What I loved about the marketing for Turtles stuff, like the Turtles van and the Turtles helicopter, was sometimes that stuff shows up in the shows.
It had to show up in the cartoon, so you knew to buy it.
So, but it just adds to this ridiculous level of because I think in the
you will be ninjas. You will move in darkness. No one will know who you are.
You got,
Turtle blimp.
You got all that, and trust me, when I was a kid, I was really into the idea of ninjas and samurai, and I knew they were combining the two concepts in ways that didn't make sense. But like the live action, I think the TV series live action, want to say Michelangelo just drove around in a van doing a pirate radio show. And I just was like, yeah, you know what? Why not? Live your best life. For some reason, no one can catch you, even though you're like very obvious.
Yeah. The thing about this, I mean, obviously, like I need to kind of just ruin this toy for people. This is kind of the impetus behind why I wrote it the way that I did. But
I need you to be very careful because I'm afraid that's going to be a toy that shows up for Christmas for you.
Oh yeah. No, I don't want it. Don't have any need to have it in my life.
If Beej's mom is watching, you know what to get him.
Yeah, he did do an entire story on it. So
she knows you like Mario.
Yeah.
At least you did once, so you might just like it forever.
Yeah.
My dad was a landscape gardener, and one day he brought home a Buzz Lightyear.
Neat.
He's like, it was great. Like it was literally like in a bush.
I was gonna say, was it a bush find?
It was like it would
An
be
escaped
like
Buzz Lightyear
from the movies, right? And he was like going, went around to see if there was anybody who had lost the Buzz Lightyear, and nobody had it. So we had this Buzz Lightyear for a while, but it had been in this bush for like a little bit. So the contacts were like some of the stuff was kind of corroded inside, and so it would activate by itself.
Does it do the creepy voices and stuff?
No, it did. It did its
to
regular,
infinity.
It did its regular voices, but they would activate when you didn't like push a button. It would just like sometimes you would just hear to infinity and beyond.
That's the worst toy to have that work on.
Yeah,
that's so great.
Yeah, no, some really old toys where the voice boxes are going make for the most creepy.
Yeah, I just wanted when my parents got me my first Transformer, I figured that was all the toys I ever wanted from that point forward. And when they kind of stopped doing Transformers as the popular thing for a while, I wanted anything that evoked the feeling of a Transformer. I don't know if anyone remembers Starcom, but that was like a thing that they had magnets embedded into it in different places. You could like pick up stuff and you could move things around. They were all
I don't know that one.
And they all were like driven. They had gears and shit in them, so it's like you could pull something back and then you could press a button and it would move into position and stuff.
Sounds pretty cool.
I loved stuff that was like there's gears and that things can move and they can kind of change. You can move things around. And it's like that stuff ruled.
All of the boy toys that I managed to get were the ones I stole from my brother because unfortunately I was a girl and therefore I got the girl things whether or not I liked them.
Barbie toys don't have enough gears.
They don't.
Yeah.
Even her dream car is like not even like it's not like a gear driven thing or. You should have gotten her like a pickup truck.
I have so much baggage, Paul.
Dump truck.
I had a cousin around the same age as me who was also a boy. He got like the magician set at Christmas. That seems super cool. For some reason, I got some sort of pottery thing, which I didn't even know what pottery was at the time. But it was definitely the girl gift.
I mean, pottery is actually pretty cool.
It is,
but not knowing what it was.
I was 8.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I don't understand. Also, because it has like a fake wheel thing, it was one of those like.
So it wasn't even like good.
You have to have adult supervision in order to play with this at all. And getting my parents to adult supervise so I could play with a toy was never going to happen.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, it's why I baked those dolls underneath my bed.
Let's move on. The coming up, Silent Hill was inspired by a little fishing village in Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Called Fife Fife.
Or rather, it's in the county of Fife or county of Fife. It's called St. Marens is the name of the city or the town, and it's a cute little. We keep saying cute little whatever. It's a small fishing village.
It's a small village.
So you're going to think it's cute.
Lots of fog probably comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fishing village. Water, fog. Happens.
Yeah.
But they were saying they wanted to, they say the smell, the wind, the sound of the place, all of that. Because, the Silent Hill series has, historically, it's been like, sort of small town in sort of mid-America,
right,
is sort of what they're evoking, and so having it, the developer is a company in Scotland, and they're like, we wanted to be like, hey, let's make it let's make it about, a weird, creepy place where we are.
I kind of love the idea though, like knowing that makes a lot more sense, because part of me was like, well, it's Konami, so it's a Japanese developer, so I'm assuming that the studio making it is going to be Japanese, and then at some point they were like, we want to make a new Silent Hill, and so we want to set it in a fishing village, and they would have just naturally gone to like a fishing village along the Seto Inland Sea, or like maybe something like in Kyushu or something like that.
Or someone would have grown up in one.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and it would have been like,
there's lots of stories of devs who put places in that they've grown up in.
and so we're going to use a fishing village from those areas, but they don't have that same, like when I think about a fishing village, I think about Peggy's Cove. Like that's what I think about. I think about like Newfoundland. I think about Nova Scotia. I think about what we know in Canada.
Oh.
And I never visited any of those, but that's what I see in my head.
Okay.
And so to think of a fishing village, it's like, oh, that's what I see. Brightly painted, whatever. The buildings are of a certain age. They're all kind of that thing. And it's like, right, in Scotland, that would be different. There'd probably be more stone they would use. There'd probably be like, everybody be painted like white and black, but maybe not as much like bright colors and stuff. You'd have these like old boats, like everything just feels like it's kind of run down in a way, but kind of like comfortable, right? Like old wood.
And yeah, and of course, because this is Silent Hill, it's like weird and deserted and like
creaky
and apparently though this is like literally they actually have recreated recognizable parts of this village, like you can some of the alleys and different things like that.
I mean, the thing about a small town is if you're out in the middle of the night when it's really foggy out, it probably has a deserted style feel to it.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
There's probably not a lot of nightlife going on.
Yeah. Generally, very small towns don't exactly have, or if they do, it's that one bar that's just kind of outside of town.
Yeah, they have 3 street lamps, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You can barely see the next one. Yeah, so I would have assumed that they would have gone with Japanese fishing village, but now knowing that it's a Scottish dev, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Of course you would pick the environment that feels very familiar, because you're like, have we thought about this? And it's like, yeah, no one's probably thought about doing a horror game in a fishing village. Who knows? Maybe they have.
Well, I mean, they definitely go to hospitals a lot, and
yeah.
so maybe fishing villages are not that tapped.
Well, something almost as old as a small Scottish fishing village, Unreal Tournament 2004.
Ooh.
Seems...
Wow.
So there's a group called the Old Unreal Group, which is a fan group that has been working on making Unreal Tournament 2004 available or patching it to work on current systems, on current computers.
Okay.
And they've actually gotten permission from Epic Games, the original developers, to make it now publicly available. So you basically you get like the downloader. The downloader downloads the like original.
Like all the game files.
The original Unreal Tournament 2004, and then patches it up to their new thing. So
okay. Neat.
It allows it to run on modern PCs and adds new features such as widescreen improvements, and you can play in resolutions up to 4K.
What is Unreal Tournament 2004?
It's as the name. We were talking about the.
It sounds like a wrestling game.
No, it is. It's a shooter. It's a.
So the history is
first-person shooter style game. It was. I mean,
like marathon or.
Well, we're talking about like the.
Do you know Quake,
Overwatch, and that kind of stuff.
Great.
It was sort of at the forefront of this sort of Unreal Tournament was like the multiplayer arena first-person
so Quake
shooting
and
each other.
Marathon and those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Epic Games made Unreal, just the game, and they made the engine called the Unreal Engine, which we've talked about an awful lot.
Sure.
But they made the Unreal Engine, and that because that's what operated Unreal. And Unreal was not strictly a tournament shooter; it was just Unreal was what they were calling the.
It was a game.
Yeah, the first-person shooter that you go through like you would in Doom or in Quake.
Sure.
And then Quake 3 Arena gets made. Around the same time that Unreal Tournament gets made, the original Unreal Tournament, because I think Unreal Tournament 2004 is the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Unreal Tournament got made because they're like, oh, well, yeah, we could just be doing deathmatching and stuff just in its own game. And then 2004 was like the sequel to that, which was like even more crazy shit because everybody was now just concentrating on doing that.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of the big like LAN games that people played and stuff. So anyway, it's neat.
99, thank you. Okay.
It's always neat to see a fan game like this not only being made and released, but ostensibly this is actually with the permission of the developer. So it's not like it's going to get. It's like as long as they don't pay attention, we'll keep doing it. But no, it's like no, this is actually legit. So.
I didn't
always
PC
nice
game
to see.
a ton in
yeah,
that
that's
time period.
Yeah.
So
I want to kind of give you a bit of the rundown.
As far as I can tell, it was just like, well, that has no meaning.
It was just like id was doing Doom, and then they moved into doing Quake, and then Epic was like, we could do this too.
Oh, look,
sound familiar? So
they do like to do that.
Yeah, they have done it. So,
yeah, you know what? I was about to do this story. There's a story about another thing talking from Unity, talking about their new AI driven development process.
Okay.
Where it's like, hey, you can have it'll be able to
make a full casual game.
It'll be able to make a full casual game just by doing a thing. But you know what? I don't really even want to talk about it too much anymore. I'm bored with that.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Epic and Unreal stuff, there is another video game company has been doing some litigiousy thingamadoodles. Nintendo, surprise, surprise, has done yet another wave of emulator takedowns for the Switch emulators. Many of which are the whatever you call it, the sort of seeds, or were
the sprouts.
They were sprouted from the previous emulators.
From Yuzu.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hang on. You said many. How many did they?
13
oh my
emulators.
All right.
Citron, Eden, Kenji NX, Mellow NX, Pine, Pomelo, Rubying, Ryujinx, Skyline, Suduchi, Sumi, Suyu. Are just a few of them, yeah.
I know that Suyu is because of Yuzu. That's they just flip the two things.
Yeah.
And Sumi.
That's not really
Because from
surprising given that.
Yeah. My opinion on this is that yes, of course they did. Yes, it will continue to happen. I know people hate that this is happening. And in the back of my mind, I'm just always like, if you would just wait like another few years, I'm sure that it'll be less of a thing. But they're still trying to sell Switch games and still trying to sell Switches to people.
One of the emulators, Eden, has taken a hard line. They've saying our source code is unaffected. It wasn't so it was. This is like a GitHub takedown thing.
Okay.
So they're like our source code wasn't hosted on GitHub. GitHub was just where we release stuff because it was handy. Eden has confirmed that their emulator source will remain available. Our development will continue as always. We want to, and yeah, in a message to WCCF Tech, which is the Discord server, or is a news site, saying we want to continue on the work to preserve these video games, allowing owners to benefit from this beyond the original hardware. So, anyway, they are saying they're going to keep going with their stuff. So, good luck to them. But it is a tough road.
Yeah.
So I hope that they have lots of backups in different jurisdictions.
I mean, the thing is, like, this kind of work has had for like a very long time was always underground anyway, and then it was like it bubbled up into places on the internet, and it got very popular, right? It's like, way to play video games where I don't have to buy the video game, obviously. So it's like, yeah, this is gonna be. Emulation is one of those things where it's like it's necessary for preservation, but also it's an underground thing, and it's God, it's gonna. I think this never gets better.
No,
I think
it's
it's
a
always gonna
constant.
be-
It's a constant push and pull. Back
Yeah.
and forth,
Yeah.
yeah. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. is
People
coming
play
out.
that shit.
For which
It's
one?
Rayman's 30th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
For I guess the original. So this is going to have. It's a compilation that will actually have 5 versions of the original Rayman game
Oh,
for PlayStation, Jaguar, PC DOS, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color. So they'll have, but it's like 5 versions of that one game.
Huh.
I've never played Rayman, but I've seen. I mean the weird character art,
Yeah.
and it looks neat. But
The
my understanding is there's like 1 or 2 games that people like that are
yeah, there's
good,
some pretty
and
good.
then
Some of
like
the games
the
are
rest
pretty
are
good.
kind of like a little middling.
It's where the rabbits come from.
Oh, I know that.
I believe I played. I either had a demo of it or a shareware version or something that was out for PC way back in the way long time ago, I think. And I tried playing it, or maybe I pirated it. I can't remember which. And I tried playing it, and it ran like dog shit on my computer, despite being like minimum things. This meets whatever, and it was just
oh,
like
is this a PC game at all?
that's the thing.
There is a PC version of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and I tried it and was like, "This sucks." And then at that point forward, I've just been like, I "This is not a fun thing." I played it for like 10 minutes. I'm just like, it feels unplayable. It feels awkward. I should have the specs to run it. It won't run properly. And it's just like, nope, not going to play this game.
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
I believe there's a Rayman N64 game on the virtual console stuff.
Is
on,
there?
on Switch? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the digital version, I believe, is available now.
Mm-hmm.
The physical version won't be available for a month or 2. And it will be coming with the various physical things, posters, the portraits. But I like this, the reusable stickers and backdrop. So there's stickers of like head and hands and feet and stuff, so you can have them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, doing the things he
Because
does.
this whole thing is that they're not like
It's
connected.
it's the sticker doll thing.
Yeah. Rayman Origins was a super neat game that came out not that recently, I guess, in 2016 or something. That was a lot of fun.
The thing is that I couldn't trust anyone talking about Rayman because based on my like first experience with it, where I'm like, it's amazing, and then I went and I played it, I'm like, it sucks.
No,
I'm like,
I
no,
get
it's
that.
amazing, and then to hear people later be like, well, Rayman's Origin is amazing, and I'm like, I cannot believe you at all because people said the first game was
I
amazing.
understand that, but like again, it is one of those things where it's
Completely soured you on the whole thing.
Yeah.
it's almost like listening to people talk about Sonic sometimes. It's like I know there are some Sonic games that are very good,
But
the rest are
And
Right.
right.
It's- I like it.
And so Rayman sounds like the same. Where
it's like
there's
not
one.
only not only do I do not believe you
Yeah.
that this Rayman game is good. By you saying that Rayman game is good, it is now put into doubt anything that you've said to me in the past.
Yes.
I'm doubting your entire
Okay.
opinion.
I'm assuming it's kind of a like I have rose-colored glasses because I
Yeah.
liked the original game, therefore I like all the games, like Sonic fans have been. But like I tried playing Arrow the Acrobat and like Bubsy, and there's like
Don't you dare disparage Bubsy.
there was a game that had like an armored like an armadillo, like a blue armored armadillo thing that he had like a sword and some other shit. I can't remember what that was. There's a bunch of mascot games for the Super Nintendo that came out
Yeah.
that were just like everyone trying to be the next Sonic the Hedgehog. Because they're like, we can do it, folks. All we have to do is just put an animal in cool colors and then put them in a stage, and they'll be amazing game. And then I tried playing a lot of these games, and I was like, every time I would get one of these games thinking it's going to be great, and then I would be like, you just wasted $5 on a new release. You could have picked up a game for the Super Nintendo that might have been something you would have enjoyed more, but you got this because it was bright, colorful colors, and they talked about how interesting the game was. And it's just like, no, it's not, though. It's not as good as some of these other games. And that's how come a guy like me is like, I'll just buy the fucking one that says published, made by Nintendo. Why? Because I haven't really been burned on many of those. So,
But
Rocket Knights, thank you.
some stuff was really good later. when I played it later.
Yes.
Like I didn't have the money to go get a bunch, and then I'd have to convince my parents to rent stuff. So like that was not going to happen. But like Spyro is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I do not agree with Crash Bandicoot, but it's not a style of game I like.
Yeah. This is more of a
character,
philosophical thing.
Like I was just saying, Crash Bandicoot doesn't like talk a lot. So
yeah.
He's just
You don't have to agree with
he's
him.
not that interesting.
Yeah.
But you know, like what other games? Sonic was good. I know you didn't care. Rystar.
Ooh, Rystar.
Rystar was excellent. It's
Rystar-
probably one of the first few Sega Genesis games I completed and was very proud of at the time.
Also, Sega
Right.
Genesis didn't play it.
Right, Rystar was like the only game I had for my like Game Gear for a really long time. It was good times, good times.
Yeah.
Couple more stories here that stuff. Finji, who are the developers behind Night in the Woods and Tunic, which are super great games.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're
then
still good studios, as far as I know.
more recently.
Games are still good. This is a thing that happened to them.
Yes, more recently, Overland and Usual June, which I have not played. But anyway, they've been dealing with this issue, which apparently is something that is an ongoing thing that other people have been dealing with, and I had no idea was this bad. So they started getting reports. They had an ad campaign running for Unusual June, which is
On
I guess
TikTok.
their new game on TikTok, and they got reports from some of their fans or some users that who were like, really, this is how you're advertising your game, and they were like, what? And got screenshots of the images and stuff, and it turned out that apparently TikTok has a thing where they use AI to generate variations of your ad campaign.
Yes. Now they have this turned off.
Yes, they have an
They
option for
specifically
this,
have this turned off for their stuff.
and they have this turned off. But apparently,
But TikTok was doing it anyway.
TikTok was testing a different AI generating thing, and it's in some ways slightly encouraging that this company, they're not a big company, of course, but it's that this company has had the same kind of customer service experience that we have had dealing with, say, YouTube or whatever, where you just basically get this stone wall of like, well, we're looking into it and we're going to escalate your
Yeah.
thing.
Or even if they do look into it and they're like, well, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it's like this is not like a free thing. This is paid for.
yeah,
We're
so
buying
now-
advertising, yeah.
And the images are supposedly also racist and all kinds of terrible.
yeah. This article doesn't actually, none of the images that the AI's thing generated have been released that I've seen. They've just sort of been described, but so it's this idea that like this AI thing generated images of like the main character of this Unusual June. There's like an image that's like her, or the ad that they were using was like this. Is a picture of her with some other people and stuff.
Okay.
And the title. And apparently the ad that some people were seeing on TikTok just had the woman in it, not the other people. It was like a full body shot of her, and it was like not how she's actually dressed in the game.
Oh.
It
Weird.
was
It was like
yeah,
more
it,
sexy than she's dressed in
it
the
changed her appearance in ways that are considered like racist in
Yeah.
terms of profiling or something.
And it's just like it's like
Jesus.
totally aside from that, which is bad.
Yeah.
The idea that it's doing it at all, like the idea that it's doing it at all, right? Like when we make, we don't advertise on TikTok and stuff, but we make like say ad slides for the interstitial stuff for our thing.
Yeah.
And we put, the text and the images the way that we want them to be.
Yeah.
If it was just sort of, here's the text and here's the images, randomly move them around, like. And it's like, even if it wasn't doing like actively offensive things, even if it was doing it's like it drew the rest of the body of your character off book. Like that's not how that character looks.
Yeah.
That's still wrong.
Yeah.
And also it's doing it in a way that the advertiser can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would never have been able to know this was happening
if somebody didn't
people
say
hadn't
something.
And apparently TikTok can't trace. And it's like I can see the idea behind, it's like, oh, we will make a ad system where, say, you have like a title and like a bunch of pictures. Mm-hmm. We can make a system that will like try the title with different pictures and do different things, and some of them might be better, and so we'll automatically do that for you. I can imagine that as a system. I could also see problems with that.
Yeah.
But for that to be useful, you would then need to have like, say, something in the back end being like, here's all the images. This one got 15% click through. This one got 10. Actually have some sort of analysis where it's showing you what it's doing.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's just like doing it and nobody's actually paying attention to what images it's generating,
because it's
just totally bonkers.
Yeah, because like if you assume the most, and
they're paying them to do this.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
If you assume the most like cynical, and like I say, we're going to do this, the most cynical idea behind this is that it's like, it doesn't matter it's almost like TikTok is saying, it doesn't matter what you gave us to show us to advertise. What you want is you wanted click-throughs. So that's what we're going to give you. We're going to give you click-throughs based on the stuff that you submitted, because what you want is you want good advertising. So we're going to do that, and then that's going to happen.
It's just going to it's just going to reduce everything to like automatically do those kind of like Ebony Online videos that we use, or ads that everybody used to make fun of.
We know people will click on those. 1/3 of everybody will click on these things. So everything will just be that. And it's like, but that's not our game. It's like, it doesn't matter. What you wanted was click-throughs, and that's what you're paying for. And so therefore we got you click-throughs to your thing. It's like, yeah, but people are showing up expecting to see. Like, it's like, that's not our problem. We're not the one who made the product. You paid us for clicks. We're getting you clicks. And like, that is a very, I need to turn the universe into paper clips idea.
So they posted this on like this is an article on IGN, and it opened up some discussion on Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff about this stuff. And apparently, this is the thing. Meta also does it. Apparently, currently, it is part of the ad thing for like Meta, as in Facebook.
Okay.
5% of your ad buy is used for AI generated ads. And that's something you can't stop.
Because they need to justify having all that infrastructure.
So you are paying 5%, like 5% of the money you are paying is being used by Meta to like
lie about your product,
or to like experiment with their AI ad generating system.
Yeah. Now they did, I believe, Finji ended up just turning off the ads completely, because that was the only way they could stop it from happening. Which is also like a bad thing when you're trying to advertise.
Theoretically,
because
theoretically they are relying on Facebook and TikTok and these other places to send them actual traffic. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I do want to check out Usual June at some point. I don't know if it's out yet.
It is a totally and so anyway, there's an IGN article about it, and you can read the what is an incredibly infuriating response from as people in the comments are saying, like 90% sure that is also an AI customer service. If it's not an actual AI customer service thing, it is like somebody who English isn't their first language doing an AI translation or something. It's just,
I hate it all. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not good.
Well,
not
now you're all aware of this as well, that this is happening. So, keep an eye out for advertising that you see that is trash. And when you see it, clip it. That's the ticket. And make sure that the company who's doing the ad knows about it.
And they talk about that actually. Yeah, like if you see an ad from a company that you don't think would be using AI from their ads, that clearly has AI or has something really weird in it, let them know, because they might not be able to see it themselves. So
from there to what?
Yeah, I just saw that headline. That was quite.
Yeah, So I don't entirely know what this means. This is one of those.
I don't know. It seems like a very specific.
This is one of those.
There,
one of these dumb or one of these analyst reports. This is articles in Eurogamer. Is a new report by Epilion, a gaming industry advisory company, headed by venture capitalist and market guru Matthew Ball.
You can call yourself anything you want.
Yeah.
But that name sounds really familiar, actually.
It's talking about the state of the video game industry.
Everyone is.
And 164-page presentation. But anyway, one of the things they're talking about is like comparing pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, that kind of stuff.
We all went outside. And
yes.
then we got cold.
There's been a decrease in a drop in spending in the video game industry.
Sure.
It's been down 8% since 2020. The total spend across all major Market 8 regions, I don't quite know what that means, but presumably that's like major markets, on console and PC has shrunk by 4.8 billion.
Okay.
And mobile is down by 2.3 billion. While 5 of these 8 markets are at an all-time high, all the while 5 of these 8 markets are an all-time high in terms of total spend, but the money is instead going elsewhere, to Roblox, for example, where the report says it's making up 67% of net growth.
Okay, wouldn't Roblox be part of the video game industry?
I thought so too. That seems weird to me.
It seems like a weird statement to me.
Anyway,
I don't have to like Roblox. I just do think it's not separate.
Yeah. During the more important part, or what the headline of this is, saying, why is all this happening? Like, why is spending down in the video game market?
Groceries.
Where's all the attention and money going?
Groceries.
This
Rent.
The report links this drop to multiple other mediums garnering people's attention: social video, creator pornography, AI assistants, crypto and meme coins, prediction markets, online sports betting, and gaming and casinos.
Oh, not groceries.
No. Well, I guess this is talking about like attention.
Oh, well, attention's different than money.
Yeah. In 2025, American consumers spent roughly $5 billion on OnlyFans.
That's money.
And then cryptocurrency too has been siphoning attention money away from video games.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't cryptocurrency supposed to be a replacement for money?
I don't know.
Well, I think, okay, so the problem I have with something like that too,
During the 2025 period, AI apps allowed for role play, erotica, and art. Soared.
No. I take issue with the art part.
generally any new medium generates
Anyway.
porn pretty much immediately, and then that's what kind of grows out of whatever.
I
But
did see an ad of really like one of those terrible sidebar ads for make your own AI porn thing, and so many things were happening that were really off kilter.
yeah, 12 nipples, some on her back.
And
Okay.
no, but I'm not going to describe it.
That's
but it
fine.
was just like so horrifying. I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
The thing about crypto that gets me though too is I'm like saying that American consumers have spent a shit ton of money on crypto, and I'm like I don't think that passes the sniff test, right? Like
Don't sniff crypto.
don't sniff crypto, but it's like when you think of it, like the median American consumer has no fucking clue how to set up crypto in the first place, right? Like it's like, where's the money going out of video games? It's like, you have to be pretty, you have to be pretty knowledgeable about how to make crypto work for you to be investing in it, unless you're doing one of these.
It might be more talking about like investing, as in like investors.
And that's what I'm wondering, if I'm like, the money that they see, oh, that money should have gone into video games, and I'm like, if what you mean is people have been saying, I am putting my money into these rug pulls because I'm not going to be the last one holding the bag, so that's why I put all my money there, instead of investing into a video game developer, studio, publisher, whatever, then maybe I can buy that. But it's like, I don't believe that the out-of-pocket spend for people has resulted in, I want to play less video games, but I want to put my money into crypto, because crypto is not an entertainment platform. I find it weird to believe
like
that money is
thing,
going there.
I can understand.
Yeah.
Because DraftKings is a blight on us all.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's on so much of the sports stuff now that I don't know how anyone who has any issue with gambling at all survives in this world anymore.
Yeah.
But that seems more to me a predatory thing rather than a people actually want to do that kind of thing.
Well, and I mean, but at least that kind of stuff where it's like, download an app, make an account, put $50 in there. Now you're gambling your life savings away. That seems to be a lot easier of an onboarding process.
Oh, sure.
For the median consumer. If this is all America as well, it's like the median American consumer. I'm like, yeah, the bros who'll be like, oh, dude, you should get on fucking Play Market or whatever it's called. You should get on those kind of DraftKings. You should get all that kind of stuff and make sides with us and like do all this kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, your buddies will show you how to do that. And I can totally believe that somebody who's like, oh, I used to spend money on like whaling, like paying for like $20 here and there on a microtransaction heavy something or other, buying loot boxes or that, might end up doing actual gambling and being like, I can win actual money back from that. You know, like that's a different kind of gambling. And I can see
For
that.
a second there, I was excited that people were spending money on whaling.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit, maybe the sea shanties will make a comeback, right?
Yeah,
they'll come around again.
I mean, historically, it was quite a gamble. You know, you lose a ship will get lost at sea or whatever.
Sea shanties will make their way back. They're like, there's a whole group of people on Instagram who I get all kinds of sea shanty things from, and they all seem really cool. So
nice.
don't tell me that sea shanties are making their way back. I don't think they ever left.
Yeah.
Just don't go out to the coast enough.
But yeah, I think that there's probably he's probably hashing a group of people up in a certain way, or it's not looking at it in terms of people. It's just looking in terms of like money spent here, and we're seeing that if less money is being spent here but more money is being spent here, well, that must mean this money came out of this market and went to this market. I'm like, I don't know. I think money's coming out of that market because people are trying to buy their fucking groceries, and the people who are making the money off the back of the groceries are the billionaires who are like, I'm gonna put my money into crypto now.
Yeah, it might not necessarily be a one-to-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not likely.
The conclusion at the end here, it says, video games post-pandemic problem isn't that players choose to watch TikTok instead of playing a AAA game, or subscribe to OnlyFans instead of buying a PlayStation. It's that on Friday evening, players are placing a growing share of their time and spend elsewhere. So it's this idea that, and this is something that people talked about before, is that video games, or a new video game or whatever. Sure, it's competing against other video games, but it's also competing against everything else that takes your time.
Yeah. Whether you're going to watch a movie, you're going to go out and have a meal, or you're going to go play a board game with friends, or you're going to go
both those sentences sound like the opposite to me, or the same thing to me. Spending time on TikTok instead of playing a video game is putting your attention in someplace else. Spending your money on OnlyFans rather than a PlayStation 5 is just doing something else. The sentence of like, oh, it's just people spending their attention somewhere else. I'm like, yes, and you gave two examples of that you said that it wasn't.
How many PlayStations are you going to buy every week?
OnlyFans has to be way cheaper than trying to get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's a lot of sort of marketer speak in this anyway.
Yeah. According to what chat said, apparently this dude does reports every year, and I'm like, is he the guy who wrote the GTA 6 report?
Oh, maybe. Anytime I hear of some dude who speculates on the gaming industry as a profession, it's a person that everyone is like, oh, that dude, him again. He's always doing that, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So you're saying we should be gaming rather than watching and loading ready run or to salvage the economy? No, what I'm saying is that the money needs to keep moving around, and if you buy a video game, the money stops. But if the money if you spend money on us through patreon.com/loading ready run, or just give me $5 on the street, that money's going to constantly be circulating.
Spend the money on video games.
Yeah, if you want to spend money on lure, we will probably buy video games because a lot of what we do is streaming video games to you, which if you're watching us play video games, you are still kind of technically helping the economy.
It's really a more efficient way to put your money towards video games is to give your money to us and then we'll buy the video game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you could at least put us on your second screen while you're playing that video game.
We will also buy groceries with it.
Yeah.
So you're buying groceries and we're buying groceries, and overall I think that's pretty positive.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
For a final story, let's, imagine if you're living in a magical fantasy world where you can afford a house.
So Final Fantasy 14.
No.
It's the only one that
Warcraft.
I know. Oh, Warcraft lets you houses now.
Wait, not World of Warcraft, but actual Warcraft?
No, World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Has partnered with Zillow. So you can actually browse Warcraft.
This means I can find people's really fucked up Zillow houses on World of Warcraft.
No, you can find World of Warcraft houses on Zillow.
But I can find the really fucked up ones, right? Because that's the whole
for
point.
sale?
I don't know.
I don't know whether this is just like an ad for World of Warcraft or whether
Sounds like
they're
an ad for Zillow.
or what. But anyway, this is it's a real thing. There's a collaboration between World of Warcraft and Zillow. Zillow4Warcraft.com. And yeah, you can see here. You can go and see like, oh, here's a nice home, Silver Moon Chic.
That's cute.
Listed by this guy. It has Mage Weave Silks, Woodsy Flourishes, waterfall views, and an impossible floor plan.
That's cool.
Man, that's going to be the next tag I look up on AO3.
And I think like this is like
Impossible
so I think this is basically it's just sort of a fun ad for the new WoW expansion.
Sure. Okay.
But the fact that it's actually is being like officially done with Zillow is kind of fun.
I do think that there was some sort of extension to Zillow that got made a while ago that was meant to be one of those ones that points you towards the ridiculous houses that show up on Zillow from time to time, right? And it's the kind, and then I think Zillow did a takedown,
and you can get a welcome mat.
Oh, is that what that is?
A housewarming gift of a welcome mat, which is, to be honest, not that impressive looking a welcome mat.
No, I thought it was just a piece of slate. Whatever.
I mean, you can get welcome mats that are kind of like that.
But I thought that was funny that the whoever made this plugin or whatever it was to kind of like extend Zillow, and then Zillow sent out a cease and desist because they're like, we don't want this thing to exist. This is not the point of our website. And I'm like, and now they're doing a collab with WoW to do this. I'm like, yeah, I guess you take money where you can find it. But I'm like, if I was Zillow, I would totally be about, lol, look at this fucking hilarious house we found. You guys want to do live walkthroughs? You want to like and highlight that kind of stuff? Be like, here's the ridiculous listing of the week, folks. Let's all check it out together, right? Like, if I was selling that house, I would kill for that kind of thing. And what that would lead to is people would actually start staging their houses in bonkers ways so they could make the top page in Zillow.
Well, yeah, probably.
I feel like Zillow wants to be
like
taken
Regretsy.
seriously.
Oh, I know.
You're talking about Regretsy.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, but like Regretsy on purpose, right? Like it's like make a bad thing on purpose, or make something ridiculous or over the top or whatever on purpose, so that you get showed off as like a, here's McMansion hell or whatever. But somebody out there is going to be looking at that and be like, actually, you know what? I like that floor plan. I like that whatever. That's really sticking in my mind. I live in the neighborhood. I could go for a house. Shit, I could buy the amazing house. I could buy the ridiculous strawberry shortcake house that I just saw on Zillow, and then be that person who owns that house now, right? Like you could do shit like that.
Wait, who has the budget for that? It was one thing to buy some really stupid stuff off of Regretsy, but at least those things were affordable.
I'm just saying the step beyond step beyond step, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's like the stuff that comes later.
And what I'm saying is it's hard to get to that step.
Yeah, that's
when
fair.
It's a lot of money.
Now, I wasn't here last week. I was sick, and I appreciate that Beej
That
and
we
Heather
just talked about anime for like half an hour.
did ChillPoint Beej's anime roundup.
Oh, you were definitely in chat the whole time, though.
No, I was just in chat a little bit.
Okay.
I showed up every once in a while. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But now, did you talk about how Sandfall Interactive had a whole bunch of their employees knighted?
No.
We did not.
You missed that
Paul,
story.
we
We
only
didn't miss
talked
it.
about the
We-
stories that were in the show, and then we diverged off into our own thing because
Oh.
we didn't want to sign into Google.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
We're like,
So-
that's fine.
This
I had heard that they were knighted.
Yeah, so this is a story from last week that made me very happy.
Can I have a drink?
What?
Can I have a drink?
Okay.
Is that the French government has knighted 28 employees of Sandfall Interactive.
Of the devs.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like.
The devs of Clair Obscur, which, like, so, and this is in France. So, this is the Order of Arts and Letters, is the sort of cultural designation.
Oh.
It isn't. It's not. It's different from like an English knighthood.
Yeah. It's
but
the Republic of France, who do not have royalty anymore.
But so like they have previously bestowed this honor on Shigeru Miyamoto, Rayman designer Michel Ancel, other
Very French.
Yeah, so other sort of well-known
Video game
yeah,
personalities.
video game directors who have been they're wanting to honor. This is the first time they've basically knighted an entire studio.
Ah,
Yeah.
And they said they're doing it in order to emphasize that we want to distinguish that today was not an individual journey, but a brilliant success of a collective. By its scale, its impact, and the support of the public as well as critics, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has established itself as a major moment in the history of French video games. And I would just like to point out that if, as we go forward into this capitalist hellscape of a future, that video game companies end up going to war with each other, there's only one company that has 28 knights on its payroll.
yeah, absolutely.
I think Sandfall Interactive is going to be in a pretty good position. I mean, sure, EA, Activision, Microsoft are big companies.
Yes.
How many knights
I
do they have
mean,
working for them?
We've had stories like this in the past where we're just like, oh, they do things better than us. Like when they get those union parties together and they have barbecues while they're being on strike and shit.
Yeah. Oh, and they'll know how to parry too. That's a
Yeah,
good
they'll
point.
all know how to
Jesus.
parry. Definitely. Like, I don't know.
I like this.
At least we'll see them coming with their berets.
I think it's also very funny that I'm imagining what it's like if you had worked for Sandfall
Yeah.
until the release of.
I bet there are more than 28 people who are at Sandfall Interactive.
Yes, and that's the thing is I'm like, if you're
I
knighting
thought-
just the people who worked on Clair Obscur, that's one thing.
I thought the joke was that they had 33 devs.
Do they?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I thought it was.
I thought that's what it was.
And it would be extremely funny
Wow.
if the people who are not there anymore, because if you left after the game was made and you're like, fucking, I'm out of here, and then you saw everybody else get knighted, it'd be like, I could have been knighted and then I could have left.
Okay, it's 28 is like 5 less than 33. If
Yep.
it was 33, it could be that the other 5 aren't in France. So
Could-
maybe
that could
maybe
be,
they
yeah.
can't be knighted for whatever. I don't know what the rules
but
of being knighted
Miyamoto
are.
is not French.
But like maybe.
How do you know?
I haven't never actually confirmed this.
But maybe there's there's whatever there's like support personnel, janitors or whatever.
I mean, there's definitely
and it would be like yes, good sir, you because I mean
Imagine getting hired.
I would 100% like the next day at work. Everybody is going to be going like, yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Sir
absolutely.
Aaron. Yes, go ahead, Sir Dave.
Yes, thank you, Sir Etienne. You know, and like the freaking like, can you imagine getting hired as an intern after that, and they just call you Squire all the time? You're like, knock it off. It's like,
Yeah.
no. I need you to. I need a dog's body to.
I believe the number was based on the dev team originally. And of course they have had like the team. The overall amount of people who made the game is larger.
Of course.
We all know that, contractors and whatnot. It would have been fun if every single person who had a name in the credits got knighted, though. Like if they'd just gone that far.
Yeah.
Their business cards are gonna fucking rule, though. Like their next run of business cards that they'll get will have like it'll be like lead animation designer, knight, or sir this or lady that. Like it'll be quite the thing.
Anyway, I wanted to mention that because they are also now
Oh god.
the news story about Clair Obscur is that the soundtrack for Clair Obscur is shot up the European charts.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 official on the top 200 in France. Number 2 in the top 100 in Germany. Number
wow.
16 in the UK. Number 1 on the independent albums chart in the UK. Number 1 on the Scottish albums chart in the UK. Number 1 on the physical albums chart in France. Number 1 on the soundtrack albums chart. Number 1 on the vinyl albums chart. Number 2 on the soundtrack. Anyway,
Yeah, the vinyls just came out recently, or like have been like getting delivered. Quite
That's
recently,
remarkable.
so-
and I love this particular article is now Clair Obscur soundtrack is breaking records, charting above Bad Bunny, which I love. I don't know if that was like the one that they just surpassed or whether this article was just like that is a good sort of touchstone for people. Yeah.
Oh, as James points out, they're French knights, so they're actually all chevaliers.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that
That's
works
cool.
really good.
That
I mean,
sounds
the game's very
amazing.
French, so
I was just thinking that if because if you had to go to war, if each nation had to go to war with the people that they have in their Order of France, Order of whatever that kind of thing, and I'm just like, for us it'd be like Margaret Atwood and Nardwuar the Human Serviette side by side on the front lines,
this is a strange video game you're making.
Yeah. I feel like the once we started doing the like the order of the Canada, Order of France or whatever for artistic achievements as opposed to martial achievements. The average fighting ability of our knights went way down.
Yeah. The bardic levels went way up though. But
That's true. Anyway, that was the last story that I wanted to talk about.
It's a good soundtrack.
I hear that. Yeah, I mean, we heard
I-
some of the stuff during the Game Awards and stuff. It
Yeah,
was really
I
good.
played a couple of songs during our Rhythm Cafe end of year thing. I went and paid for the whole thing off of Bandcamp because it was like $16 or something.
Is it like you played it in the like end of year, like in the whatever
The Melodies Escape game that we
Right.
did.
Is it so? Are in Clair Obscur are because obviously there is the sort of timing element and sort of rhythmic element to the fighting in Clair Obscur.
Mm-hmm.
Is it actually synced to the music at all?
No.
No. Okay.
No, the music's just good.
Oh, okay.
There are definitely, they've got that like that RPG when you hit certain phases of specific fights where the music changes over to
Right.
something more swelling and powerful and terrifying to add to your terror of the thing that you've just seen happen, that kind of thing, but not like if you hear the music you know that you're going to be able to hit on this beat kind of.
Right.
It's more pattern recognition from what the enemies are doing.
Anyway, yeah.
I have some cruft in my head that I need to eliminate.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mentioned Nardwuar the Human Serviette, who, as of this year, has been made a member of the Order of Canada. And people are like, "Who is this guy?" Yeah, good for him. Who is this guy? He is famous for meeting celebrities, usually people in the hip hop community, but meeting celebrities and interviewing them. But then he asks them stuff and brings them things that are like tie-ins to their life.
He's a journalist.
Yeah, he's a journalist, but he's kind of a goofy dude, and he has a shtick and everything else. But he has a thing for, I show up with something usually to represent something of your youth that you're like a long lost story, something you completely forgot about, and I found out about it.
Or just doing incredibly deep dives on people, pulling up things from their past. That they're like, why do you know this thing?
Yeah, how did you even find that out? And it's like, you do your good research. So Nardwuar, if I remember correctly, he was an intern for Much Music.
Okay.
That's where he got his start, if I remember this correctly. And if I also remember this correctly, the reason why he became an intern for Much Music is because he won a contest to do that. Much Music ran a contest across Canada. They did it like several years in a row, I think. Sure. But for this 1 year, he won that chance to be an intern for Much Music. In that same year, for the application process, a friend of mine from high school also did an application same year. My friend also wore glasses and had crazy big hair and stuff as well too, much like in the same way.
Like we can't have two people.
And I think that's what happened ultimately, is that it's like he was available to go to Toronto and my friend maybe was like living out west, so it doesn't count. But it was this weird thing of like, oh, they picked the other guy with glasses and weird hair to be their intern instead.
I mean, you had to fill out a submission.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have to submit a photo? Because perhaps
you'd had to do like something to advertise yourself as being a good match for Much Music, which meant usually you're doing a video.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this: your friend probably just didn't do as good.
It was a good video.
I'm sure it was, but
I got to see it.
If
it was
you haven't
a good
seen
video.
the other guy's video, you don't know.
It's true. I hadn't seen his video, but my buddy's was a good video, and he did not get picked for that.
Also,
it was just
I
like,
feel
wow.
like you're biased.
Yeah, I was, because my friend didn't get picked. I was like, he was totally going to do. He could totally make it. This is going to work, and it did not work. And then to watch this, like Nardwuar goes on to have like a 40-year career or whatever. Like, it's like, wow, holy shit.
Okay, even if your friend had one, the result of a 40-year career is not the same thing.
Yeah. Also, I guess more like 25-year career, but
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's going to happen is Nardwuar is going to interview you.
Yeah.
And have like your friend's
submission
video.
And be like, yes. You don't think that's better than yours? You don't think that's better than yours? Come on, man. Like the fix was in.
But yeah, he's on. He's got a YouTube stuff now.
All right. So what I'm hearing is, if Beach could go back in time, he'd do it for a real dumb reason.
Yeah, Nardwuar is his enemy for some reason.
No, it just was.
Yeah, no, it's what I'm hearing. It's what I'm hearing. You brought it up. You have to deal with
it's
these
cruft in my head. It's stuff that I'm like, I remembered they applied the same year and they picked him and not my buddy.
And while we agreed that you could get rid of that cruft, we did not agree we would not make fun of you for your cruft.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is what we are doing.
I'm glad.
Understand the rules of engagement here.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks. If you haven't seen this week's episode of ChillPoint, you should. It is up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LRRVG. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it is probably
somewhere around
very close to where you are right now, possibly behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Or look up. We always forget to do that.
Thank you for supporting us in all the ways that you do, either here on Twitch or on Patreon, becoming a member of our YouTube channel. Or if you want to support us right now, we've got a bunch of new stuff on the store.
Yeah.
store.loadingreadyrun.com. We've got really, really nice mugs. We've got toque, scarf, and we have the Kickstarter playmat. The extras for when we did the Kickstarter
for Friday nights.
For Friday nights, we had
those are limited.
Really, really amazing playmat. And we got it all, printed and signed and sent a bunch out and sent them all out. But we have some extras left over, so we are selling those at the prices that they were during the Kickstarter.
Yep.
Because we want to make sure that people aren't be like, well, I can get it cheap now.
Yeah. No.
In fact, there are some that are signed even.
Yeah.
So when you go to the page for the Kickstarter thing as well, you're going to see it advertised at like $50, and then when you click on it, because that's the unsigned playmat price, and then when you click through to it, it might come up with the signed price, which is $100. And the reason it did that is because signed is selected. So pick signed or unsigned based on the one that you want.
So anyway, check out all of that cool stuff. And yeah, thanks for joining us. We will talk to all y'all later. Bye.